Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, these are panelists. They are going to help us discuss this key issue of indiscipline in our schools. Because of late, we've been hearing about a lot of incidents that are going on in our schools, especially the secondary schools. The use of drugs, rebellious activities that are going on. And we think it's only character education that can transform these indiscipline in our schools. Now, I'm going straight to my questions for my panelists. And we're going to look at the rising indiscipline in our schools, as I mentioned earlier. And I would like to ask, my first question goes to Dr. Frimpong. Want to know, should the rising student indiscipline in school be a major cause for concern, and why?
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Indiscipline in schools, should it be a concern? Why not? Apart from the fact that it compromises the welfare and well-being of students, staff, it also creates a lot of stress for staff within the school environment. It is also a reflection of the society that we live in. It reflects on the school. It gives the school a bad name. And it also gives the society in which we live a bad name. It's very costly. We don't seem to realize how indiscipline affects the society. First of all, just look at examination, the way we cheat in our examinations. It starts from the schools, and it goes on nationwide, to the extent that everybody is now looking for exam questions. It's become part and parcel of the society. Can you imagine a society where this doesn't happen? It goes on to the extent that people have to pay to be placed, even school placement. This is all part of indiscipline that we learn from school or we learn from the homes. So certainly, it is something that must concern all of us. We cannot continue to live in a society where indiscipline seems to be admired and something that everybody looks up for. Now, I was surprised when I heard somebody say, I'm a fraud boy. You know, something that is accepted, he's fraud boy. Can you imagine that? All these people are moving within the society, and it's indiscipline. It's part of what we have been taught and brought, along. So certainly it's an issue that we should all be concerned and begin to address it holistically. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Frimpong. Please, let's give him a round of applause. That is a concern, because looking at how things are going, we cannot move correctly in this direction. I don't know if any of the panelists would want to add something to what he just said. Thank you.
Yes, indiscipline. Indiscipline is something that is really ruining the society in which we live in now. To me, it severely disrupts learning, and then it lowers academic performance. And then it also increases dropout rates and can even endanger both the staff and the students. Some of the cases are in the news, and it's very disheartening to see the country in this state. In my parts of the country where I am, like Dr. Riley said, we are the youth are deeply soaked in Sakawa. It's so sad seeing these nice from good homes, you know. I don't know how they get into it. I think most of it is due to this social media, the phones they have, which is causing a lot of indiscipline in our societies. And you see them during classes time. I mean, there's a town near Sunyani called Brikum. I'm telling you, it's a menace. And I think the last time we wanted to even draw the education minister's attention to that town. And it's something that is really worrying the society. And they get a lot of money though, you know. The last time I saw boys around the ages of 18 to about, I think, not even up to 25, driving in flashy cars, you see, and they come in convoys to our hotels. And the other children sit down and admire them. And it's causing a lot of indiscipline in our society. Mine, I think, is due to the social media. So indiscipline is causing a lot in our part, especially from where I come from, the Branhafo region.
Let me hear something from Auntie Kate. You've been headmistress for the past 27 years. You've been with some students. Yeah. What do you think about this?
Thank you very much. I would say indiscipline in any aspect of life is a menace. Not only in the school,
Please.
every aspect of life where there is indiscipline, we need to be wary of. When we think of the school, this is a center where we are educating people. And education is all about change, positive change. And if we look on without changing, these children who are the future of the nation, then we are doomed as a nation. And so it is not only the immediate effect of it affecting the students or some people learning because they are setting bad examples, but we must be wary and we all must really throw our hands to the wheel to change it because it will affect the nation. Where there is no peace, where there is no comfort in the nation, we have nowhere to go. And so indeed, we need to quickly do something about indiscipline. It's a whole mindset. And when the society frowns on positiveness, or rather refuses to encourage or reward positive attitudes, and instead blindly look on when others are negatively exhibiting qualities that are not admirable. Like she said, that they come in convoys flaunting their wealth, and then others look on and they want it because it's money. We have lost something as a nation. Money has now become the value. And so once you have money, we don't care how you got it. It's like the end justifies the means, and which is wrong. We need to quickly and urgently do something about this. And it's important to catch them younger. In the school where they are supposed to be educated, they are supposed to be imbibing good qualities and values. This is where we have to now attack that problem from its roots.
Thank you. That's very deep. That's very deep. Let's give it to her. Let's clap for her. Thank you.
Yes, to add to what my colleagues have said, indiscipline is of great concern to the nation. And sometimes we, those in the religious sector, my mom was a Muslim and my dad a Christian. So I have the opportunity to study both religions. So if as a nation, we are both Christians and Muslims, and these religions frowns on indiscipline, and they have strong values in raising up children. My question is, why do we have this moral decadence in our schools? Because when you go to any school, most of the children come from either a Muslim background or a Christian background. And even when you deal with children from traditional homes, these religions also believe in moral values. They also believe in good characters. Even atheists, they believe in good characters. So then why the moral decadence in our students and the gross indiscipline in our schools? There's something wrong somewhere, which I believe, and for which I say that I will really salute all the teachers here. We really salute you for all the good work you are doing. And I think there's a wake-up call. It should be a revolutionary call to all of us. A great concern. Churches must wake up. The mosques must wake up. The imams, the pastors must wake up to it. And it's not only in the schools. It will amaze you sometimes when I walk through our Sunday schools. It surprises me the kind of indiscipline. Children as young as 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, the kind of indisciplined character they exhibit towards their Sunday school teachers. It's so amazing. And my daughters went to school where the PTA, they call it PTN, Parent Teacher Network. So like the way we are seated here, that's how we network. And you have the opportunity to talk to subject teachers one-on-one with the award by you. And I was amazed one day, Madam Coordinator, where a student, the subject teacher was complaining, oh, she's this, that, and she was like, hurry up and let's go. And her mom was, oh, nyabotre. Oh my God. I felt like just slapping the girl right there. So after the program, I took the opportunity and I spoke to the parents. I said, look, parents, there's something wrong with us. There is something wrong with us as parents. And for me, I always tell people, I believe in the way our parents brought us up. So my children, I don't spare them. When you see my children, I'm not bragging. Of course, children, we all have different characters. But I make sure I train them the way I was trained, strict. Each child, you have 10 canes with your name written on it. I never flogged any of them. But I buy the cane and I tell you, these are your canes. One in the kitchen, about 4 by your bed. So the moment I come and I wake you up, Mommy, wake up. When you see the cane, you get up. So the canes did all the things for me. I don't talk that much. And I believe we must bring those discipline. It's very, very important. Because I will give all the blame to the parents. We, the parents, I'll give the blame. Because I've had the opportunity to interact with a lot of parents, and it's amazing. Mothers take their children to the Sunday school, and the way they even talk to the teachers, the Sunday school, I'm like, are you serious? A child of God? It's amazing. So for me, I salute teachers. I salute you.
Thank you, Reverend Pastor. Please clap for. Yes, I think yesterday I was having a discussion with Auntie Mariam, and she was like, hey, Auntie Nancy, this time I'm suffering. Oh. I went to the market and I bought a cane, and I had to lash my boy. And I was like, wow. I said, yes, it's too much because she can't take it any longer. Let me go to Mr. Mashud, right? Yes, Mashud. You've been going around the schools as an inspector in the northern sector. What are some of the cases that they bring before you?
Thanks so much for the wonderful opportunity given to share this worrying trend going on in the country, of which Northern Region is not an exception. Actually, the upsurge of indiscipline in our schools is very worrisome. Yeah, actually, as you rightly mentioned, during our monitoring, issues of indiscipline of our students always comes to our notice. Like students will not go to classes, Whilst classes are in session, they will be at the dormitories, either sleeping or arguing among themselves. These are some of the issues that we normally receive from our teachers. Also, absenteeism among students. Somebody will be a boarder in the boarding school, but will be absent in the classroom. So where are you at that particular point in time? And we also have an issue of lateness to schools. And then as part of the disciplinary issues, it's not only akin to students. Even our teachers are also culpable. The indiscipline is creeping deep into a section of our teachers. So a whole lot of issues are coming out in our schools with regards to the disciplinary issues. Even issues of drug abuse, especially disease. Taking hard substances among our students is very rampant in northern region.
It's serious.
Yeah.
It's serious. And I had the opportunity to witness some of the substances that they take. These are our cough mixtures. There's one particular one called Benylin with codeine. Yes. And what they do is that they buy Calipo. These are normal Calipo. And they will mix it with a Benylin. And this Benylin cough mixture that they sell at the pharmacy, like, I don't know, is it 20 cedis or 30 cedis? It cost 450 cedis. That's how much they buy it. And when they buy, then they will add the red. Yes. So that cough mixture with the Calipo and with the red, or sometimes they buy any of the energy drinks and they mix it with it and they drink. And they become, I don't know how they feel. They feel they are on top of the world, enjoying life. And when they go into that mood, it takes them about 8 hours to come back to normalcy. So imagine a young guy who's supposed to work and has gone into hibernation, someone will say, for 8 hours. For 8 hours before coming back. And immediately they are done. When they come back, they will look for food. When they are done eating, they go back into that state again. So what are we talking about? Now let's look at where these things are coming from. The root cause of these things. I think we are scratching the phases of the menace. Deep down, what are the causes? Do we put the blame on the doorsteps of Ghana Education Service? On the parents? On teachers? On the children? Where do we put the blame? So let's find the root causes. We are all parents. Some of us are parents here. Where are these things coming from? Doctor, will you help us with that? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. One, the question is, what is the motivation to do this? In societies where they have been successful to a large extent, they have operated within the rule of the law and also make sure that the laws are enforced. We shape society by enacting laws. For example, fraud boys. In other jurisdictions, at the end of the year, you file your tax returns. You have to declare your income and all the assets that you have acquired and the source of the funds. Here in Ghana, we don't do that. So anybody acquires a house, a building, a car, whatever it is, and it goes scot-free. And these people are also, as you said, they are being adored by the youth. They see them. They leave secondary school. Instead of going to school, they join these guys and do, because the laws are not enforced. If in my society where I come from, there was a time I realized this was going on in the community. I reported to the police. They will go and catch them, collect money from them, and they come back to the society. So if the laws are not enforced, every other person would like to try it and get into it. So basically, for me, to be able to, and it also goes on in schools. What are the rules in the schools? If you go to a school where in some society and some communities, the teachers are not allowed, to exact certain types of punishment. You go and you punish a student, the next time you are asked to reverse the decision by authorities. Or even forced to even apologize to the child. In some instances, the parents will come and beat you. So there is laxity in our society in the way we may have the laws, but we don't enforce them. And without enforcing them, any other person will go astray and do the same thing. So that is one major cause that I think we have to look at. The second is parenting. To be honest, a number of women are not ready to have children, and men. They are not ready to have children or to be parents. It's become, I'm out for a finish. It's something that, yes, because at 16, my sister had a child, or my friend had a child, nothing happened to, they also begin to have children, single parents. They are not prepared, to handle, particularly in the rural areas. I see this a lot, in the rural areas. So for me, these two issues are things that we probably have to find a way to address.
I also want to know about the education ministry. They've taken certain stance on disciplining the children. They've taken the authority away from the schools. Gone were the days that we go to school and early in the morning, mental, you take canes. So whilst you're on your way going to school, you are reciting 2 by 2, 2, 2, 4, 2, 3, 6. Before you get to school, you are even forgotten. Yes, I quite remember. And they will lash you. They will, even if you don't go to church, they will lash you. But now let's look at our system now. What is happening, please? But the corporal punishment, right? Yes, because it has to come back. It has to. I think Atike's want to say something. It has to.
We're looking at it from our background as Ghanaians.
Yes.
How do we nurture our children? Like she said, we nurture them with a cane.
Yes.
Whether you're going to use it or you're going to use it to frighten them, it is still the cane. The essence of the cane shifts the character. But here we are importing something from another country and we're saying, do not touch the child with the cane. I remember as headmistress in 2 different places. A school like Wesley Girls, we never caned anyone.
No.
But we had our means of punishing, and like you said, meaningful punishment, and it worked. But I went to Nyakro, and there I saw every teacher wielding a cane. And I said, did we come to teach caning? Or what? And I stopped it. The government had not come out with that caveat that we shouldn't cane. But I stopped it in myself. I felt it was too much. I felt hitting them with the cane was making them think and move like donkeys. they only react with a cane. It prevents them from thinking. So there's a snap part of it, the lopside of that issue, that it's not good. I understood that one even before the government came out to make it a rule, and I stopped it in my school. But I also do understand that sometimes we need to cane them. So there should be a blend.
A blend.
The blend of the two. And I think from GES point of view, at a point when they said, if a teacher would beat a student or cane a student, it must be done in the presence of the head, so that you control. Because some would really, I had a teacher who beat a student and the student collapsed.
Yes.
With a cane. That's going to the extreme. So there are some who really are not really, up to using the cane. We know of a cane that plugged somebody's eye or blinded somebody. So all these things, I'm sure, informed education to let them come up with this kind of rule or law. I had a student who was a miscreant, terrible student, and we're trying to reform. And at a point, we had to call in the parents. I called in the father. I said, this and this and that is what your child has done. Government says we don't, that time the rule had come, we don't have to cane. So I won't cane, I want you to beat him in my presence. Give him 3 resounding slaps right now. Let him see stars. Let him see some. And I said, I'm waiting. I turned my eyes from there. I said, I want to hear the sound. Give him 3 good slaps. And the father started crying. The father was crying because I was asking him to discipline his child. And I said, this child needs caning. But government says do not cane as a teacher. So I won't cane him. But government has not said, Daddy, don't cane. So cane him.
Yes.
I want you haven't got a cane, I haven't got a cane. But give him 3 slaps. I want to hear 1, 3. I'm not looking. And the man was crying. He couldn't bring himself to beat the child.
Yes.
I said, that's your fault. You have made this child this way. And now he's become a liability. Do you want to see goodness in this child? He says, yes. Then do something. Do something. I said, I will do all that it takes to maybe give him a good educational result. He might come out with all the A's, but with no character, he'll go nowhere.
No.
He'll go nowhere.
Not at all.
And at the end of the day, if this child becomes somebody that we all can be proud of, I, as a head, can only sit back and say, this was some time ago, my student. That's all. But you will benefit.
My name is Stephen Koku Owusu, a director at the Office of the Special or Technical Advisor to the Honorable Minister for Education. Today I've had an opportunity of participating in character education training organized by Kofi Tewia Foundation. In fact, considering the definition of education, we know so well that we are leveraging on what the empirical evidence is saying, that every nation that wants to accelerate development should leverage education. And that is why most countries, or almost all countries, are investing hugely in education. But we started with developing or supporting our students or learners to have or acquire knowledge. We got to a point we needed skills. And then we have now gotten to a point where it is not only about knowledge they have, it's not only about the skills they have, it's also about having the right attitude. And we can now just praise Kofi Tewia Foundation for leading the charge. Leading the charge in the sense that all these 3 pillars, when you come to our formal setting, you see that we are seriously pursuing knowledge. We are seriously supporting our students to have the skills. And we have embedded the values in our curriculum. But it should stand out as a pillar. So if you are talking about 3 pillars, we are talking about acquisition of knowledge, we are talking about development and supporting students to have competence in terms of skills. You should also be able to educate them in terms of character. so that when they have the skills, they have the competencies, and they come out of our schools, they will support our nations to develop and develop faster. So it is a good initiative, and we want to commend them for starting such initiative. We are also calling on all schools to embrace this initiative and incorporate that into the system. We must mainstream values and character development in whatever we do in schools. So as they have started and they are working with partner schools, and it is working so well, we can learn from the schools and then try to pull all the best practices in order to transfer them into our public setting. We commend you, Kofi Teria Foundation, for the good work that you are doing, and we can continue to give you that kind of assurance that the Ministry of Education will partner you to translate whatever you are doing to support our public schools. Thank you so much.